In playing with recordings, what do you find to be the biggest challenge? And when working with a student who's doing that for the first time, what are your suggestions as how they should go about practicing with recorded music?
Well, that's tricky. If the composer can give you an electronic realization, then that's really nice. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, the problem with listening to a recording of the piece you're playing is what? That you'll play it exactly like that. And so if you're playing with an electronic reproduction of a piece that you've been playing, there's a real tendency to play very square, right? Because you're playing like some machine. But I think something like that can really help. Mainly, it's just like a lot of things. I think you, first of all, you want to know how does it work. If you got all the technique right, and especially the rhythm is key. And knowing how the rhythm goes, I think the rhythm is so key. September last night is a very tricky piece. I learned how to do it finally. September, everything is crunched. You can evidently on a computer program, instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, you can make it 1, 2, 3. You can make it those kind of crunched together so it's out of time. And man, so I'm counting. So if I'm counting measures in September, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm kind of just because it all kind of just skips ahead all the time. Well, that's a real weird piece. It took me a long time to get used to how that goes. That was very strange. And so I would say, chop it up. Work on this part, work on that part. Find the really, it's just like you do when you play symphony music. You check by all the hard parts and, so you work on the hard parts. Also, marking your music, where in the music, at 2 minutes and 34 seconds it does this. Write yourself some cues in, all those kinds of things. But I would say it's just, it's time in a room. It's hard to slam through in a hurry a tape piece, and especially if it's very contemporary and unusual. It takes you some real. It took me time to really get a handle on half the chick, a couple of them, 2-3 months to really have a deep handle on that piece. And so just time in a room, really getting in, just listening. Singing is a wonderful thing. I think we neglect that all. How many of you sang? How many of you in the last couple of days have sang your music you're working on? All right, well that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But when your chops are gone and you can't practice anymore, sing your music. It's most profound. It doesn't have to be on pitch. I think basically we're out of time. Thank you very much, guys.